Is marriage still a smart choice for men today? Does it truly benefit you, or is it just an outdated tradition? The answer isn't simple. It depends on the situation, but watch the video until the end and you'll have your answer. In the past, marriage was a contract that bound a man and a woman together for life, primarily to raise children. But the benefits weren't the same for both. For women, the advantages were clear: security and stability. A husband provided for her, took care of her, and stayed with her, even as she aged and lost the attention of other men. No matter what, she wouldn't be alone. She gained commitment, protection, and lifelong support. For men, the primary benefit was different: access to sex. Historically, sex outside of marriage was rare or difficult to obtain. Marriage gave men exclusivity with a woman during her best years, her youth. He was honored by having a wife who was more intimate with him than with any other man. And there was one benefit they both shared: raising children together, something that required stability. But in today's world, things are different. The benefits men once gained from marriage are disappearing. Sex is no longer exclusive to marriage. High-value men can access it easily without committing for life. Women often have multiple past relationships before marriage, sometimes even engaging in casual dating, open relationships, or experiences they won't offer their future husband. Essentially, they give their best years to others and expect lifelong commitment from the man who marries them later. Women benefit more from modern marriage than ever before. Since people marry later, women don't have to struggle alongside their husbands. Instead, they often enter marriage when the man is already successful, meaning she sacrifices less but gains more. Meanwhile, the man must commit forever while receiving fewer advantages than before. And the one common benefit, raising children, can now be done outside of marriage. A man doesn't need to be legally bound to a woman to be a father. Before addressing the question of whether you should marry, let me tell you the story of a man who learned just how devastating marriage can be for a man when not done correctly. Robin Williams, one of the greatest comedians of all time, a man who made millions laugh, was also a man who suffered devastating consequences from marriage and divorce. At the peak of his career, Robin Williams had a net worth of over $100 million. But after 2 divorces, that fortune was cut in half. His first divorce in 1988 from Valerie Velarde was already costly. But the real financial damage came from his second divorce in 2008 from Marcia Garces, his former nanny and mother of 2 of his children. Williams was forced to pay over $30 million in divorce settlements. He had to sell his mansion to cover legal costs. On top of that, he owed hundreds of thousands per year in alimony and child support. Despite making millions throughout his career, these payments drained his finances. He went from being one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood to taking roles just to stay afloat. It wasn't just the financial hit. Divorce took a toll on his mental health. In interviews, Williams admitted he had to keep working, not because he wanted to, but because he couldn't afford to stop. He even took roles in movies he hated just to pay the bills. By 2014, Williams was struggling with depression, financial stress, and health issues. We all know what happened after. So, should you get married? For most men, the answer is no. There's nothing you gain from marriage that you can't get in a normal relationship. Unless you have very few options, marriage doesn't provide a real advantage. That doesn't mean marriage is always bad. Many men criticize it because of their negative experiences, but marriage can be a beautiful thing if done correctly. Building a family, committing to one woman, and supporting each other through life's ups and downs is a goal many men still desire, and that's okay. However, if you choose to marry, do it on your terms. Marry young, so she's there during your struggles, not just your success. Choose a woman from a good family who truly values you above all other men. Make sure she respects your role as a husband and you uphold your duty as a father. If you can't do that, don't get married. Love is great, and marriage sounds beautiful in theory, but the world has changed, and men need to adapt.